Make a primitive wool stocking this holiday season. I trace these from wooden sock stretchers, or stocking stretchers they used to call, and I will be giving you the pattern. It comes in 3 pages, 3 PDF pages you need to print out. You will put 1, 2, and 3 together. I would tape them down and make it one whole unit, and then I would trace it out on cardstock or go to the Dollar Tree and get a big piece of poster board and make yourself a template. So when you cut it out, it will be the same size as a wood sock stretcher. I am also including 2 pages of images that you can use on the stocking if you like. This one is of animals, and you can cut several of them out, or you can make a whole one. This one is of other images for Christmas. I like to audition them. And the ones on the stocking that I did print on there, you do not have to use it. I was just showing you. For this one, I used a very large piece of brown wool. As you can see, it's mottled. It's because I over dyed it. That was the original color. And I over dyed it because I had some gray dye already in my pot that I was dyeing some wool yarn. So I decided to over dye the brown. I really wasn't even sure what I was going to make. I just had the dye and I said, I'm going to use it. And here is my camel. I love my camel. Look up there. I discussed it in my last video. And these pieces I actually use for my applique quilt. I cannot share them because I purchased them. All these other images are free for anyone to use, but you cannot sell them. And you want to add little extra embellishments like the eyes, the whiskers, the legs. And it's so easy to do. You just go back after you embroider it on. And with the mice, you can give it a little tail, little beady eye. And I also gave it a date. I wrote on freezer paper, ironed it on, right on the wool, and then I just hand stitched right through it. After embroidery, I just ripped it right off. You can make the top of the stocking round, or you can literally cut it off on the line like I did and make a 2-3 inch hem, whichever you would like. On the front, I sewed it down, but on the back, I left it open. I sewed the hem the same time that I sewed the stocking, so it would be encased inside. And then I just ran a running stitch. Even though I sewed it right sides together and turned it out with a sewing machine, I went back and just a little bit of the way down, I did a blanket stitch on both sides. See, I didn't go very far down here. And here I had a longer piece, so I used it till the piece was done. And I used the same linen thread. And I added just a little tab, didn't even measure, just cut a piece, and I hand did it also with the blanket stitch. Very easy. I like to have an oversized piece, really large, and then I would like to take my pattern, draw it on there, or maybe even stitch it or use white chalk so I know where the pieces will fit inside. You basically want to have a pattern, trace it on your wool on your large piece so where you know where your pieces will fit inside. And leave a good 3/4 inch at least on each side of the image on each outer edge, because when you turn that inside, you will be losing some. I like to cut out each little pattern piece and audition them before I even use it on wool. I like to use the paper piece. Then I like to use the Easy Steam too when I'm using wool to applique them down. It has a really strong bond, and you can actually sew over it with a sewing machine if you want. Or you can use really small applique pins to hold it down. I find it too hard and too cumbersome, and I always prick myself. You can always use pieces of wool and cut different ones to make it look like scrappy if you don't have one long piece. Here's my favorite, like I talk in all my videos. This is camel. And this one is clothing that was thin, so I left the interfacing underneath and added the steam 2 to it. This is an old army blanket, really nice. And this is clothing again, and this is even a little piece with a cut into it. I still used it just the way it was. Since Christmas is a few weeks away, I just wanted to hurry up, get this video out, so if you wanted to make one. And this is just a little acorn I made like the wool feather trees. I may have to do a video on that. Really cute. Now this wool takes at least 36 inches long, so you're going to need almost a yard of fabric. And if you don't have that long piece, you may need to find a large blanket like I purchased off of Amazon. This is 100% wool, not 80-20, but 100%. I'll leave the link up there, and it should be populating where I got this from. I just finished this wool wall hanging. It took me a very long time. I'll show it when it gets back from the quilter, and I know they're probably very busy this time of year, so it might take a few months for it to get completed. If you bought the twin or even a throw, you would have more fabric than you would ever know what to do with, especially if you're looking for large pieces. You could make several of these and give them as gifts. And then all these little pieces can come from garments. You don't need that much, and a little goes a very long way. Today is December 13th, and I'm buying the khaki one or the army one because they have 33% off. I don't know if it will be by the time you look at this video. And I admit it's very hard to find very large pieces, and if you do find, some are very thick. I'm going to briefly go over a few of the necessities that I consider when using wool applique. Freezer paper, definitely. This roll will last for many years. And the Easy Steam 2 is really good for working with wool on wool. If you check out some of my videos in my craft playlist, I show you actually how to use this particular product. And here's freezer paper for your printers. You can download them and they will scan in and print. And you just iron it on your fabric, sew, and then you just rip it right off. And this is number 10, 100% cotton. So easy to dye. You can use onion skins, you can use walnut hulls, you can even use coffee if you don't have any of that. Very easy, and it looks rustic. This is 100% linen that I love to use on my applique projects. And this is number 8, black DMC cotton floss. I love it because you don't have to divide it like you do regular 6-strand floss. You have to either take 2 out, 3 out, 4 out, and it's just cumbersome. I rather use this straight from the ball, and I don't have to divide it and worry about losing it or it getting knotted. This is my go-to, especially when I do a lot of hand embroidery. I'd like to know if you could please drop a comment below, yes or no, that's all you need to type, whether you will be making this primitive stocking pattern. This causes the algorithm to push it out more because of the communication going back and forth, so I would appreciate it. Enjoy your pattern, enjoy your making this. I hope you have health and happiness and be blessed this Christmas. This is from my home to you, and I feel honored that you visit my channel each time. Don't forget to print the PDF below this video. And this is Jersey saying God bless you, Merry Christmas, and see you on the next video.